Armin was a billionaire CEO. He lived in a world of power, money, and luxury. His days were full of meetings, calls, and decisions that changed lives. Today was important. He was rushing to a business meeting that could decide the future of his company. Armand stepped out of his tall glass building and walked quickly to his black luxury car waiting for him. The sun was shining bright, and the city was busy with people hurrying everywhere. Armand was focused. He opened the door, ready to get inside and drive to the meeting. Suddenly, a young girl ran towards the car. She looked poor and tired. Her clothes were old and torn. Her feet were bare, dusty from walking the streets. Without asking, she opened the back door and quickly jumped inside. Armin froze. His heart skipped a beat. He stared at the girl in disbelief. "What are you doing?" he asked, trying to stay calm. The girl looked scared. Her eyes were wide, full of fear and hope. She didn't answer right away. Instead, she looked out the window as the city passed by. Armand cleared his throat. "This is not a public taxi. Why did you get in?" The girl's voice was soft and trembling. I thought this was a ride. Please, just take me somewhere safe." Armand looked at her closely. She was very young, maybe 16 or 17. Her face showed pain and tiredness, but also strength. He could see she had been through a lot. "Where do you want to go?" Armand asked gently. The girl hesitated. Then she said, "Anywhere but here." Armand felt a strange feeling in his chest. He was used to controlling everything: money, people, businesses. But now, here was a girl he did not know asking for help. He started the engine. The car moved slowly into the busy streets. Armand tried to understand her story. "What's your name?" "Zara," she said quietly. "Zara, why are you alone?" "On the streets." Zara took a deep breath. "I have no home, no one to turn to." Armand was silent. His mind flashed back to his childhood, lonely, filled with difficult moments. He never wanted anyone to feel that way. "Why did you get into my car?" he asked again. Zara looked down. "I didn't have a choice. I was running away." Armand looked at her with concern. "Running away from what?" Zara's eyes filled with tears. "From people who want to hurt me." Armand's heart ached. He wanted to ask more, but also wanted to respect her pain. "Do you have family?" he asked carefully. Zara shook her head. "No, I lost them a long time ago." Armand was quiet. He didn't know what to say. The city lights passed outside as the car drove on. "Armand," Zara said after a while, surprising him with how she knew his name. "Do you know me?" he asked, curious. Zara looked away. "I've heard about you. The rich man who never cares about poor people." Armand smiled sadly. "That's not true. I care, but sometimes I am too busy to show it." Zara's lips curled into a small smile. "Maybe." They both sat quietly for a moment. Suddenly, Armand's phone rang. It was his assistant, reminding him about the meeting. He looked at Zara. "I should go to the meeting." Zara's eyes looked hopeful. "Please, don't leave me here alone." Armand hesitated. This was not his world, helping strangers on the streets, but something about Zara made him want to stay. "Okay," he said finally. "I will take you somewhere safe first." Zara's face brightened with gratitude. The car slowed and stopped at a small park. "Stay here," Armand said softly. "I will get help." Zara nodded but didn't move. Armand stepped out and called a local charity he knew. He explained Zara's situation quickly. While waiting, Armand looked at Zara. He saw fear, pain, and hope all mixed together in her eyes. Suddenly, Zara whispered, "Thank you." Armand smiled. "You don't have to thank me. Just promise me you will be safe." Zara nodded, but her eyes showed a secret she wasn't ready to share. The sun was setting now, casting orange light on the city. Armand felt something changing. Inside him, a feeling he had not felt in years. This meeting was important, yes, but so was the girl sitting in his car. As the charity worker arrived, Armand knew this was just the beginning of a story that would change both their lives forever. Armand could not stop thinking about Zara. After leaving her safely at the charity center, He went to his meeting, but his mind was somewhere else. Who was this poor girl? Why had she jumped into his car? And what was the secret behind those scared eyes? That evening, Armand sat alone in his large office. The city lights twinkled outside the tall windows. He opened his laptop but could not focus on the business reports. His thoughts kept going back to Zara. Suddenly, his phone rang. It was an unknown number. "Hello?" Armand answered. "Mr. Armand?" a soft voice asked. "Yes, speaking," Armand replied. "This is Zara," the voice said quietly. Armand's heart jumped. He had not expected to hear from her. "Zara? How did you get this number?" he asked, surprised. "I found it in your car," she said. "I wanted to thank you for helping me." Armand smiled softly. "You're welcome. How are you now?" Zara hesitated. "I am safe, but I still don't have a home and I need your help." Armand listened carefully. "Tell me everything." Zara explained her story. She was an orphan. After losing her parents, she lived on the streets trying to survive. She had no one to protect her. Recently, some dangerous people started chasing her because she knew a secret about them. Armand felt a deep pain. He understood what it was like to feel alone and afraid. "Why did you get into my car that day?" Armand asked. Zara's voice trembled. "I was running from those people. I saw your car and thought it could take me to safety." Armand nodded. "You were brave, but also very lucky." Zara laughed softly. Or maybe it was fate. Armand felt something warm in his heart. He wanted to do more for Zara, but he wasn't sure how. "Come tomorrow," he said suddenly. "I want to meet you and hear more." Zara agreed, and they ended the call. The next day, Zara arrived at Armand's office. She looked nervous but hopeful. Armand greeted her warmly. "Please sit," he said. Zara looked around the big office. It was full of expensive furniture and paintings. She felt out of place. Armand noticed and smiled gently. "Don't worry, you are safe here." Zara took a deep breath and began to tell her full story. She spoke about her childhood, the loss of her parents and the harsh life on the streets. She told Armand about the people chasing her, criminals who wanted to silence her because she had seen something she shouldn't have. Armand listened with growing concern. He realized this was more than just a poor girl's story. It was a dangerous secret. "We have to protect you," Armand said firmly. "I will do everything I can." Zara looked at him with tears in her eyes. "Thank you. I never thought someone like you would care," Armand smiled. "Sometimes life surprises us." Just then, Armand's phone beeped with a message. It was from his assistant. The meeting he had planned was postponed. Armand took this as a sign. "We have time to help you," he said. Zara smiled for the first time in weeks. Over the next few days, Armand and Zara spent time together. Armand learned about her strength and kindness despite the pain she carried. Zara saw a different side of Armand, not just a rich CEO, but a man who cared deeply. But danger was never far away. One evening, while they were talking, a shadowy figure watched them from a distance. The fight to protect Zara had just begun. Days passed, but Armand could not stop thinking about Zara and her story. He felt a strong need to help her, not just because she was in danger, but because he felt a strange connection to her. Something about Zara seemed familiar, as if their lives were linked in ways he did not yet understand. One afternoon, Armand invited Zara to his home. It was a big, quiet place filled with memories and photographs of his family. Zara looked around, her eyes wide with wonder but also sadness. This was a world so different from the streets she had known. As they sat in the living room, Armand asked softly, "Zara, have you ever known your parents, your family?" Zara's eyes grew distant. "No. I lost them when I was very small. I don't remember much." Armand nodded slowly. He reached for a small wooden box on the table and opened it. Inside was an old, worn photo album. He took out a picture and showed it to Zara. "This is my family," he said quietly. "My mother, my father, and my sister." Zara looked at the photo carefully. The woman in the picture had kind eyes and a warm smile. Zara's lips trembled. "Do you know her?" Armin asked. Zara shook her head. "No, but she looks familiar." Armin's heart beat faster. "My sister disappeared many years ago. We never found her." Zara's eyes filled with tears. "I wish I could remember my family." For a moment they sat in silence. The past felt heavy in the room. Suddenly Zara reached into her pocket and pulled out a small old locket. She opened it carefully and showed Armin a faded picture inside. It was a photo of a young woman, kind, gentle, and very much like the woman in Armin's family picture. Armin stared in shock. "Where did you get this?" Zara looked down. "It was given to me by someone who said I should find you. But I don't know who they were." Armin's mind raced. Could this mean Zara was connected to his lost sister? Was this the family he had been searching for all these years? He looked at Zara with new hope and worry. "We need to find the truth." Just then, a knock came at the door. Armin quickly hid the photos and locket. He opened the door carefully. Outside stood a man in a dark coat, his face hidden in shadows. "And I help you?" Armin asked. The man smiled coldly. "I'm just here on business, Mr. Armin." Armin felt a chill. He didn't trust this stranger. "Please leave," Armin said firmly. The man nodded and walked away, but Armin knew this was only the beginning of trouble. Turning back to Zara, Armin said, "We must be careful. There are people who don't want this secret to come out." Zara looked frightened but nodded. "I want to find my family, even if it is dangerous." Armin smiled gently. "Then we will do it together." That night, Armin stayed awake thinking. The story of Zara's past was not just about one poor girl. It was about a family lost and found, and a truth waiting to be revealed. He knew the road ahead would be difficult, but he was ready to face it. The next morning, Armin and Zara met at a small cafe. The air was cool and the city was waking up. Both felt the weight of the past and the unknown future pressing on their shoulders. Armin opened his laptop and started searching for any clues about Zara's family. He typed in the names from the photos, hoping to find something, anything, that could explain the mystery. Zara watched him quietly. "Do you think my family is still alive?" she asked softly. Armin looked at her and smiled sadly. "I don't know, but we will try to find out. Sometimes the truth is hidden in places we least expect." Suddenly his phone rang. It was his assistant. "Mr. Armin, there's a visitor waiting for you at the office. He says it's urgent." Armin frowned. "Thank you. I'll be there soon." He turned to Zara. "I have to go, but don't worry, I will keep working on your case." Zara nodded, but her heart was heavy. At the office, Armin met the visitor, a middle-aged man with tired eyes and a serious expression. "My name is Asif," the man said. "I worked for your family many years ago." Armin's interest piqued. "What do you know about my sister?" Asif hesitated. "She was taken away, but I have proof she might still be alive. I'm here to help." Armin's hands trembled as Asif handed over an old file filled with papers, photos, and letters. One letter was especially interesting. It was addressed to Armin's mother, written in a shaky hand. As Armin read, the pieces of the past began to connect. Meanwhile, Zara sat in the cafe, feeling restless. She looked at her phone, hoping for a message from Armin. Suddenly, her phone buzzed. It was a message from an unknown number. "Stop looking for the truth or face the consequences." Fear washed over her. She showed the message to a nearby shopkeeper, who promised to keep an eye out for her. Back at the office, Armin and Asif discussed a plan. They needed to find more evidence and protect Zara from the danger growing closer. "We must be careful," Armin said. "If these people know we are searching, they will try to stop us." Asif nodded. "I will help you, but trust no one. That." Zara sat alone in her small room, thinking about everything. The kindness of Armin, the danger chasing her, and the mystery of her past. Her heart was full of hope and fear. Tomorrow the search would continue. The morning sun cast a soft day. glow over the city as Armin and Zara prepared for another day of searching. The danger felt closer now. Every shadow seemed darker, every sound sharper, but they were determined to find the truth. Armin carefully examined the papers from Asif. Among the old letters and photographs, he found a name that stood out, a man named Kamran, who was connected to Zara's past. According to the files, Kamran was involved in something illegal, and he had reasons to keep Zara's family secret hidden. "We must find Kamran," Arman said quietly. "He may know where your family is." Zara's eyes filled with both fear and hope. "Do you think he will help us?" Arman shook his head. "I don't think so. He's dangerous." Later that day, Arman and Zara went to a small neighborhood where Kamran was said to live. The streets were narrow and the buildings old. It was a world far from Arman's luxury life. As they walked carefully, Zara's heart pounded. She remembered the threats she had received and wondered if Kamran's men were watching. Suddenly, a car slowed down nearby. Two men stared at Zara and Arman. Arman's hand tightened around Zara's arm. "Stay close," he whispered. They reached a small, run-down house. Arman knocked on the door. After a moment, a tall man with cold eyes opened it. It was Kamran. "What do you want?" Kamran asked, his voice rough. Arman stepped forward. "We want to know the truth about Zara's family." Kamran laughed bitterly. "You don't know what you're asking for." Zara swallowed hard but stood her ground. Kamran's eyes softened for a moment. "Your family. They were caught in a dangerous secret. My business destroyed them to keep their silence." Arman's face darkened. "Why?" Kamran looked away. "Because your family knew too much." Zara's hands trembled. "What happened to them?" Kamran sighed deeply. "They disappeared. Some say they were killed. Others say they ran away. To protect you." As the conversation ended, Arman knew they had only scratched the surface. Kamran's words were a warning and a clue. Outside, the two men from the car waited. Arman and Zara quickly left, feeling the danger close behind. Back at the office, Arman studied the files again. He found a name, a woman who might help them. Her name was Sarah, and she was once close to Zara's family. "We must find Sarah," Arman said. "She might hold the key." Zara nodded, hope returning. "Let's find her." That night, as Zara slept, she dreamed of her family, smiling faces, warm hugs, and a home she never knew. Her journey was far from over, but with Arman by her side, she felt stronger. The next morning, Arman and Zara set out to find Sarah. The woman was said to live in a quiet neighborhood far from the busy city center. As they drove, Zara felt a mix of nervousness and hope. Maybe Sarah could finally answer the questions that had haunted her for years. When they arrived, they saw a small house with flowers in the garden. Arman knocked on the door, and after a moment, it opened to reveal a middle-aged woman with kind eyes but a worried expression. "Are you Sarah?" Arman asked gently. The woman nodded slowly. "Yes, how can I help you?" Arman explained Zara's story briefly. Sarah listened carefully, her eyes filling with tears. "I knew your family," Sarah said softly. "They were good people, caught in a terrible fight with powerful enemies." Zara's heart beat faster. "Do you know where they are now?" Sarah shook her head sadly. "No, but I believe some of them are still alive. I have letters and notes that might help." Sarah invited them inside and began to show them old letters and photographs. Each piece told a story of love, pain, and loss. Zara saw pictures of a young woman who looked like her and a little boy who could be her brother. Arman watched Zara's face closely. He knew this was more than just a search. It was a journey to find her identity. Suddenly, Sarah paused and looked serious. "There is something else. Your family's enemies are still looking for them. They will stop at nothing." Zara felt a chill run down her spine. "What can we do?" Sarah smiled sadly. "We must be very careful. Trust only a few people." As they prepared to leave, Sarah handed Zara a small box. "These belong to your mother. They might give you answers." Zara took the box with trembling hands. Inside were letters, a locket, and a small diary. She opened the diary and began to read. The diary told a story of hope and courage, but also fear and danger. Zara's mother had written about their struggle to protect their family from those who wanted to harm them. Back in the car, Zara held the diary close. "I want to find my family," she said softly. "I want to know the truth." Armin nodded. "We will find them. Together." But deep inside, Armand felt the weight of the danger growing. Someone was watching them, waiting for the right moment to strike. That night, as Zara read the diary by candlelight, she found a hidden note. It was a warning. "Trust no one. The truth can hurt, but it will set you free." Zara's eyes filled with tears. The journey was far from over, and the secrets were deeper than she ever imagined. The morning sun rose softly, casting a golden light over the city. Zara felt nervous, but determined. Today she would uncover the truth about her family, no matter how painful it might be. Armand drove her to an old, quiet house on the edge of town. It was a place Sarah had mentioned, somewhere connected to Zara's past. As they stepped inside, memories seemed to fill the air. The walls held stories of love, loss, and secrets kept for too long. Zara's heart beat fast. "Is this where my family lived?" Armin nodded. "Yes, let's look for answers." They began searching the house carefully. Old furniture covered in dust, faded photographs on the walls, and boxes filled with letters and keepsakes. Suddenly, Zara found a hidden drawer in a wooden cabinet. Inside was a small box, locked, but with a key hanging nearby. With trembling hands, Zara opened the box. Inside were more letters, a faded photograph of a young couple, and a small, worn diary. She took the diary and opened it. The words inside were written by her mother, telling the story of their life, the struggles they faced, the enemies they made, and the love that held them together. Tears filled Zara's eyes as she read about her family's sacrifice to keep her safe. Just then the door creaked open. A man stepped inside quietly. It was Kamran. Armin stepped in front of Zara, protective. "What do you want?" Kamran looked tired but calm. "I'm sorry for the pain I caused, but it's time you knew the whole truth." He told them how, years ago, Zara's family had stood against a powerful group that wanted to control everything.